in 1928, the world signed the Treaty for the Renunciation of War. Probably the most important law ever passed by the nations of the world, and nobody in this country seems to have heard of it. Now, it was very important because after the Second World War, Germany's leaders were prosecuted at Nuremberg and convicted of 11 breaches of the Kellogg-Briand Pact, which is the Treaty for the Renunciation of War. And that became universal law. Now, when George Bush and Tony Blair walked into Afghanistan and to Iraq, they did exactly the same as Germany's leaders did in the Second World War when they walked into Poland and Belgium and Holland and all the other European nations. Now, it's very important for ordinary soldiers to realize that the judgment at Nuremberg applies to every human being. And one of the key arguments that Germany's leaders made was that they were only following orders. Now, the judges said, no, that's not good enough. If your government breaks the laws of war, you must refuse to obey their orders. And it is that law, which was introduced in 1950, which every one of Britain's armed forces has been breaking ever since. So both the police and the armed forces have a duty in law to refuse to obey the orders to fight in Afghanistan or to support the war in Syria or to attack Libya or to take part in the attacks on Iraq. All of those were illegal. And what very few members of the armed forces or the police know is that it is a criminal offence to follow an unlawful order. And that's what they have been doing for the last 12 years.